What is your go-to joke when somebody asks you to tell one? Did you know that before the invention of the crowbar, crows just drank at home? A sheep farmer has a talking dog. One day he asks it to get all his sheep into the pen. A little while later the dog says job's done, all 40 sheep accounted for. 40? I have 36 sheep, not 40, the farmer says. The dog replied, I know, I rounded them up. A man is walking through the woods when he finds a suitcase. Curled up under the suitcase are a fox and 4 cubs. He immediately calls animal control to report what he found. Oh no, that's terrible, says the animal control worker, are they moving? I dunno, says the man, but I guess that would explain the suitcase. I told my doctor, I broke my arm in 3 places. He told me that I should stop going to those places. What's the difference between a rectal thermometer and an oral thermometer? X200B. The taste. X200B. Doctor goes to write a note, and pulls a thermometer from his pocket. He says, great, some asshole has my pen. A man walks into his son's room. He says, son, if you keep masturbating you're going to go blind. The son goes, I'm over here, Dad. One day, a man is waxing the car with his son. His son looks up and says, you know you can use a rag for this, right? What's the difference between a hippo and a Zippo? One's really heavy and one's a little lighter. A limbo champion walks into a bar. He was disqualified. What did the drummer name her twin daughters? Anna 1, Anna 2 foot. Do you know who've been through a lot of shit but are still together? My butt cheeks. Friend told me that one as I was going through a bad breakup. LOL. What do you get when you drop a grand piano down a mine shaft? A flat minor. Took my kids to the zoo and all they had was this little dog. It was a Shih Tzu. I bought my friend an elephant for his room. He said, thank you. I said, don't mention it. Did you hear about the guy that dipped his balls in a jar of glitter? Pretty nuts, right? A woman walks into a hardware store to buy a hinge. The salesman asks, do you want a screw for the hinge? Woman says no, but I'll blow you for the toaster. Heard in a stand-up routine about 40 years ago. A pirate walks into a bar with a steering wheel in his pants. The bartender said to him, hey, you know you have a steering wheel in your pants? The pirate replied, okay, it's driving me nuts. 2 fish were in a tank. One fish looks at the other one and asks, any idea how to drive this thing? What's the difference between an owl, a piano, and a fish? You can tune a piano, but you can't tune a fish. What about the owl? Who? I'll never date another tennis player. Love means nothing to those people. Why doesn't Oedipus use foul language? He kisses his mother with that mouth. What's the #1 cause of dry skin? Towels. What do you get when you cross an elephant and a rhino? Shrug your shoulders. Elephino. Little boy, I'm named after my grandfather. Mano? What's your name? Little boy grandpa. I'm as hungry as a guy who is bad at making analogies. Why does Snoop Dogg carry an umbrella? For drizzle. Why do Swedish battleships have barcodes on them? So when they come back to port, they can Scandinavian. Skeleton walks into a bar. Bartender asks, what will you have? Skeleton says a beer and a mop. Ha! Why did the bike fall over? It was too tired. Repeat this several times at completely random intervals to annoy my friends. What did the bra say to the hat? You go on ahead, it'll give these two a lift. A Roman centurion walks into a bar and says, "I'll have a martinez, please." The bartender scratches his head. "Do you mean a martini?" "Look, if I wanted a double I'd fucking ask for one." Two whales walk into a bar. The first whale walks up to the bartender and says, continue making whale noises for as long as you like, ideally 5 minutes. The second whale looks at the first and says, "Goddammit Steve, you're so annoying when you're drunk. Why don't cannibals eat clowns? They taste funny." A guy finds a magic lamp. He rubs it and out pops a genie. "You have found my lamp," says the genie, "and in return I will grant you 2 wishes." "Isn't it supposed to be 3 wishes?" says the guy. "Look in your pants," the genie replies. The guy looks in his pants. "Holy shit," he exclaims. "My dick is huge." "Yeah," says the genie. "I've been in this business for a while." Knock knock. Who's there? To who? It's to whom, actually. A man goes to the doctor. He says, "Doc, I have had the somewhat new pussycat stuck in my head every day for 8 months now. I am losing sleep, my job performance is down. I don't know what to do." The doctor thinks for a sec and eventually replies, "Sounds like you've got Tom Jones syndrome." The man says, "You mean other people have experienced this? Is it common?" The doc replies, "Well, it's not unusual. I went to the zoo and saw a baguette in a cage. It was bred in captivity." How many Germans does it take to change a light bulb? 1. We're efficient and lack a sense of humor. Knock knock. Who's there? Dishes. Dishes who? Dishes Sean Connery. I know a great knock knock joke. You start. I heard one that cracked me up, but I was drunk at the time. Ask me if I'm a dinosaur. Are you a dinosaur? No. Why do chicken coops have 2 doors? If they had 4 doors, they'd be chicken sedans. What do gay horses eat? Ha ha ya yi. Why does the Buddhist monk never vacuum his furniture? Because he has no attachments. 2 chemists walk into a bar. The first one says, "I'll have AH2O please." The second one says, "I'll have a water too, please." The first chemist sighs as his assassination attempt has failed. My wife always says to me, "You're so sarcastic all the time." Being sarcastic never got anyone anywhere. So I told her, well, it got me to the World Sarcasm Championships in Santiago, Chile in 1998. She said, "Really?" I said, "No dot." I told my girlfriend her underwear are far too revealing. She replied, "Well, then wear your own." What do you call a fly with no wings? A walk. How do you get an art major off your porch? Pay for the pizza. I saw this Mexican magician that said that he would disappear on the count of 3. You know. Dos. Suddenly he was gone without a trace. I woke up laughing this morning. I must have slept funny. Or I saw a poor old lady collapse at the bus stop earlier. Well, I assume she was poor. She only had £3 in her purse. Knock knock. Who's there? A stupid burglar. Why did Sarah fall off the swing? She has no arms. Knock knock. Who's there? Not Sarah. What's the difference between people from Dubai and people from Abu Dhabi? People from Dubai don't like the Flintstones. People from Abu Dhabi